Hello everyone. Welcome back for your November reading. This month you have 4 choices to see what messages are in store for you this November. As always, take your time to meditate with these different cards. Definitely like and subscribe if it resonates. And you can always watch more than one pile. So if you find yourself drawn to more than one, definitely you may have messages in more than one place. That's what I always tell you, if you're a little bit torn between them. Now, I have been a little bit behind on my videos due to some construction around my place that's been going on. It's not very zen to have construction in your videos, but hopefully they're going to be starting to come back more often. And I had a lot of friends actually ask me last night to pull some cards for them. Oops, pile number 1. Had me pull some cards for them, and it made me feel like maybe the collective was feeling just some chaotic energy. And as your friendly neighborhood Scorpio moon, I'm actually feeling pretty in my element right now, so I wanted to see what messages I could give to all of you. And we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you're new, take your time, see which one's kind of calling to you, see which one you'd feel kind of upset if you didn't choose, and then the timestamps will be below. If you, again, feel called to more than one pile and you really can't choose, then I would pick one, watch it, and maybe go to another one to see if you have messages in both places. So I'll give you a moment and I'll see you for your reading. All right, group number 1, let's see what is in store for you this November. Let's see what you might need to know and see what messages are for you in this part of the deck. I did it kind of interestingly this time, where I kind of split up the parts of this deck. So I will shuffle these little parts and then we'll move on to another part of the deck or another to see what your messages are. Okay. So overall, group number 1, in November, I'm sensing that you are really going to start being yourself. I'm sensing that there may be like some heartbreak, something going on where somebody has caused something in your life where you've really kind of had it, is the sense that I'm getting. You've had it and you're ready to kind of like move on and be the out of the box person that you are. And I'm sensing that once you kind of like gave up trying to people please, or once you kind of like hit this boundary, I feel like you've been so much happier, or like you're just starting to kind of get to this place where you're feeling like you can be so much more you. And so what I'm sensing here is that you had some issues with like self-expression or developing yourself or not being heard. And this often has to do with your throat chakra. So if you've been like losing your voice a lot, or you feel like you find yourself clearing your throat or being really thirsty, or I'm having to do that right now as I'm thinking about that, because I'm really feeling this for you. My throat is almost like tightening up a little bit. I feel like my voice is getting crackly, thinking about the fact that you haven't really been able to speak your mind. People haven't been valuing your thoughts and opinions in the way that you want them to be valued, as we all would like to be. And what I'm really sensing is, it's interesting that you got the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Wands here. And 3 of Wands just shows me that you're ready to break free from this and you're ready to be your own person. The Page of Swords is showing me that this was giving you so much anxiety, but you've kind of taken this leap and you're just like, you know what? That wasn't serving me. I can't be that person anymore. And I feel like maybe you were like performing for somebody a little bit. Like you were playing the part that they thought you needed to play in order to fit into their life a little bit. And I'm sensing that this feels very emotional. It could be at work. I feel like this is going to resonate for you pretty well if it is, but I feel like you are just like, you have so much ahead of you where like you have so many unique ideas, and I'm kind of getting the like nobody puts you in a corner kind of vibe. I think that you started to be quite honest with yourself and other people and really say, this is who I am. And this is what you're going to do in November. Is I think that you really thrive off of being honest with yourself and being honest with others. And I think that maybe they were kind of a little bit in denial. And maybe so were you a little bit, that like that you just were trying to make things work so much that it just wasn't working. I'm trying to get whether this was kind of something. These cards keep flying around. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're legitimately going all over the place. The mic is picking that up. So what's interesting here is these cards kind of match each other. So when you look at these, it's like you started this progression here. I'm trying to fit them all in the frame. Pumpkin, you might have to go. But what I want to show you here is that even the colors have this really interesting transition, and the colors, the way that they came out, kind of match a little bit. So it's like you've got kind of this heartbreak and this like reality check going on over here, and then you kind of come into this thing where you just can't do it anymore, and then you come into this like more zen and peace like environment. So what I'm sensing is maybe October was a little bit tumultuous for you, and I'm even sensing that maybe if you weren't going through this right now, it's something that came back up for you. Like I'm almost sensing that October was just really difficult and it came back up, and then in November I'm sensing there's going to be a lot more peace, and you're going to kind of go through the ability to really feel like you can uniquely be you. Whenever this card comes up, I was telling a friend this who got this card last night actually, when I was sending her a little video for her personal reading. This card always comes up for me when I'm trying to explain to someone that they need to be their authentic selves, and like their uniqueness should not be disturbed by anybody who wants them to be different. And then what's also interesting is this one tends to come up for travel and kind of soul searching as well. So if you have a trip that you're planning in November, I would say definitely take that. There's somewhere that's feeling right. I would definitely head there because it's going to give you all of the inner peace. Let's find one more deck to get you some more messages. Group number 1, see what you need to find out. My goodness, these cards for you, group number 1, they're flying everywhere. All right, we've got the Your Soul Shines. So I think that you are really going to be heading into a good place in November and being able to feel more, again, like I said, at peace. And this is so interesting that we have the honesty card over here, and then we have the what's your honest truth. So it just seems like it's like things weren't working. I'm sensing like a sense of exhaustion, like you got really tired, and you didn't want to do it anymore. You couldn't put up the front. Integrate your knowing. This is almost like that deep intuition. And it's almost like this is weird, but I'm almost sensing like your pets sense that you were off or something, or they have been a little bit off when you were not feeling your best, if that makes sense. All right, let's grab some romance cards just to see what's happening in this avenue. For group number 1, what does group number 1 need to know for November? Ooh, okay. So someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, I don't think this is the same person who caused this heartbreak that we got in this original card. This feels like someone different. This almost feels like someone who, like, you knew from before. Heart-to-heart conversations, so you're able to be honest with them. Look how many times honesty is coming up in here. So I definitely feel like you were in some sort of situation where things were not truthful, and this reconciliation feels like it's someone who you couldn't be with before is kind of like coming back into your life, or maybe like you're headed into a new phase where like I'm feeling almost like friends or coworkers to a relationship kind of vibe. Like it wasn't going to work before, but I feel like you've always known this person. Like when you met them, they felt very familiar, and it almost felt like, wait, where do I know you from? Is kind of what the feeling that I get from that person. There's also a lot of attraction with this person. So it seems like maybe what I'm really feeling that there's been something behind the scenes where like something's been going on with this person, and you have been kind of questioning whether it could be romantic or not, but there's always been something in the way, whether that was kind of like a toxic ex, or you were just in a really bad situation. with someone, with a job, a boss, feeling like it was a boss or an ex, or like just a certain situation where you had to kind of put up a front and lie. But ever since you've kind of let your true self come out, and the more that you are honest with yourself and the more you let your truth shine, I think the better this relationship is going to go. And don't second guess yourself is what I'm really feeling here. Like, you might sense like, oh my gosh, am I too weird for this person? What I'm sensing is absolutely not. I think that's partly why you guys have the chemistry and attraction that you do, is because you can understand each other in a way that other people don't. So don't take that for granted. Be your honest, true self, and that is the best way to move through life at this time, because it's really going to bring you that inner peace. And just follow your intuition. I feel like even your pets might like this person when you first introduce them, or their pets like you, and it's just kind of one of those weird things. And I'm sensing it's just been kind of a slow burn while you had to work through other things. So that is kind of what I've got for you for this little quick read, group number 1. Feel free to go watch the other piles if you want any other messages, but it feels like yours, like you know what this is. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You're gonna go check another pile. But if this did resonate for you, please definitely give this pile or this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to come back for more, hopefully every single month. And hope you enjoyed your reading. Thanks so much, group number 1. All right, group number 2. Let's see what is in store for you. I did this kind of interestingly, the way that I split this deck up. And so we'll get your base reading of what group number 2 needs to know from this part of the pile. And then we'll get some other decks in here to get some more clarification. But whatever your message is, it will be in this part of the deck. So, we have the Magician, which is also card number 1. This is very interesting. So you've been working on something. There's something kind of going on. You also have Death and Rebirth. Okay, so I'm sensing you are kind of like at a crossroads here. Oh my goodness. Group number 2, so many major arcana cards here. You've also got Justice, which, this is interesting. You've got 111 with these cards. So if that's one of your angel numbers, or if you see 11 a lot, then definitely go ahead and like this video. We also have the 13 card, which I don't know about you, but some people are really into 13 right now because of Taylor Swift. So maybe you'll get Taylor Swift tickets if you have been looking for them, or you've been waiting for that pre-sale code. My goodness, rather. So we also have the Fool for you. So all Taylor Swift jokes aside here, it really feels like you have got something new going on. Like you have a new cycle. You're working on something. You're not entirely feeling 100% confident in it, but it feels like you are in charge, is the sense that I'm getting here. And it feels like you are in charge for the first time in a while in your life. It feels like you finally kind of are in control, and you're kind of stepping into possibly a new partnership, either romantically or at work, but it just feels like you are happier with kind of the situation that you are in life. Like you are ready to surrender to kind of like your life's path. I'm almost getting a sense of like eerie calm. Like you're like, I feel like things have been going pretty well lately and I'm not really sure what to do. It feels like things have been pretty balanced, but I do sense that you kind of have had a little bit of, like stuff with maybe exes, or like just dark times where you're like, am I going to be okay? Like, are things too good for me right now is what I'm getting, because you've been through so many cycles of just trying to like figure things out. So many switches in, oh my gosh, that card just flew out like nobody's business. We've got the Good Kind here. So that is interesting because it just feels like you are in a really good vibration right now. And what I'm getting from your guides is not to let this freak you out. Okay. Do not let yourself be, I'm gonna actually put these cards down for a second because I wanna show you these two in particular. So with the Justice card, you can see that it's balanced, but there's also like a reflection here where if I flip it, there's a little bit of a dark side to Justice and she's not looking quite as happy, right? But here she feels balanced, more serene, and things are going okay. So there is always kind of like, you know, it's a balance here, it's a balance here. So there will be dark times and times when you might doubt yourself and your abilities, but it feels to me like you're creating something. It feels like you've stepped away from traditional roles in some case. It feels like something has happened. It's a good change where you've stepped away from something. And I think that you've been kind of waiting for a sign on whether you should continue with this or not, or whether you made the right decision. And the Fool and the Magician will absolutely tell you that this is the right decision. You have kind of freed yourself, and the Fool is the first card in the deck. It's the 0 card, and the Magician is the number 1 card. So the Fool, you can see how she's really quite literally just falling off of this cliff with no cares in the world. Like she's just letting this pool catch her, and whatever happens, happens. And I think that's kind of the mindset that you need to adopt here with this business venture, with this relationship, wherever you have kind of started here, where you're feeling more comfortable. And it feels like you've had so many challenges in the past that it almost doesn't feel like fair to you, I think, or possible that you might have something good going on. This is so interesting. Befriend the word polarize. So what I'm sensing from you is maybe in the past, kind of these like flip-floppy situations were not good, where there was justice, there were two sides to things. And now you can have multiple things going on at once, like polarization, and having, you know, something go on one end of the spectrum and the other isn't a bad thing. So I think you're kind of learning something new, but I almost feel like you're being challenged by things coming back up that you have to deal with to confirm that you're done, if that makes sense. Limitations inspire innovations. So this makes me feel like you were made to be very small by someone who maybe didn't want you to be your very best. And this one just came out of the bottom. That one shouldn't have even have been in that deck, but you got the Sun card, which really shows me that you have positive energy really coming to you. And this, it just feels like, I love this energy group too. I rarely feel such a zen pile where things are just okay. And I think that you are a little freaked out by that. But don't let these dark times get you, because it's just these limitations, these dark times are going to help inspire you to be where you need to be and be what you need to be. And it's going to help you with timing as well. So what I'm really getting is the message here is like, trust the timing, because everything you've been through has led you to this place, and you're okay. Like, you have made it through. Oop, a card wanted to come out, but it didn't. You're okay. I think there were times where you definitely thought you were not going to be okay, and you were really concerned as to what was going to happen to you. Ooh, you guys just saw that one fly across the table. And you were concerned as to whether you were going to be able to find happiness or not. And the 7 of Cups really shows me that you've had so much growth. And what's funny is this is like emotional growth, retreat, and this can often have to do with like someone is showering you with love and affection. Then you're like, are they love bombing me, or is this real? So we can get the love cards out, or we can ask here too. What does group number 2 need to know about their love life? Because I'm sensing maybe that's something you were trying to ask, as I just kept telling you were zen, zen, zen. Ooh, okay. You have indeed leveled up. And here's the thing. You need a partner who is also going to level up with you. And what I get is vibes that you are going to be kind of in this new partnership. We have the 2 of Pentacles there. And you really have good things coming toward you with someone who, for lack of better words, has their shit together. It's something that I think you've been looking for, someone who's kind of an equal, a partner, not someone that you have to take care of. I think you're a very caring person, but you want someone who is kind of going to pull their weight and is also going to be really fun. And with the Wheel of Fortune, what we can get here is that you are going to meet them in a way that is going to make you think, like, after everything, what are the odds? Like, after everything I've been through, what are the odds here? And it's also telling me that you're going to have so much fun with them. Yeah, so we have a 7 of Cups. We also have the 7 of Pentacles. So this shows me that you've been working on this for a long time. And the placement of where I feel the need to put these cards also matters too. So it's funny, like, you've been kind of watering, you've been really working on this. You've been kind of doing a lot of spiritual growth and being like, okay, when am I going to find my person? But the thing is, like, they have also been having to do spiritual growth at the same time. So obviously timing was important. We talked about timing earlier. The Knight of Cups. So truly, emotional fulfillment is on its way. And I always get the Knight of Cups when it has to do with romance that's coming in. That's like a really grounded, good, deep love. So I'm definitely seeing some positive things in here for your love life, group number 2. But I'm also getting Temperance. So just be patient a little while longer. I feel like you're sighing. I feel like I can tell that you're like, seriously, of course that would happen. But it's not like it's going to be forever. It's definitely coming up here and it's going to be a wild ride. So just keep doing what you're doing right now and enjoy this kind of little lull. And that's so funny. This could be the one. And if you feel like you have already met them, you probably have, but I'm sensing it's half and half for this group. I know this card says that, but I'm feeling half and half. So if you know, you know, and you can definitely like if this resonates with you. Let's see. Oop, that card kind of wanted to come out, but it didn't. I prefer to really have them jump out to make sure. Interesting. We got this one in the last one, but I think this has a different meaning for you. So instead of like reconciliation, like this could be someone from your past, which could correspond with like the after everything, it's this person or whatever. But what I'm almost sensing is like a reconciliation with yourself. Like you have had to reconcile different things with yourself. You've had to be like, all right, what do I really want in a partner? What do I have? What's going on? And I feel like that's really important. We've got very soon. So again, Temperance, just give it a little bit longer, but it is going to be happening very soon. And you are going to have those real romantic feelings that are going to be worth exploring. So group number 2, things are really good for you. This was an awesome pile, and I sort of wish I could just stay in this energy for quite some time. So I think November is going to be a fantastic month for you, group number 2. And if you felt like you had any other messages in any of the other piles, feel free to go watch them. But otherwise, please give this a like and subscribe. Comment if anything resonated with you here. I reply to everyone. So thank you so much for watching, and keep me updated on your love life, group number 2. Thanks so much for letting me do this reading, and I'll see you again soon. All right, so group number 3, let's see what is in store for you in this portion of the deck. What I did is I split it into 4ths. So your beginning message will be contained in this, wow, that came out fast, part of the deck. So let's see what group 3 needs to know for the month of November, or what can they be looking forward to? What messages do they need to hear? First off, what I'm seeing here with this Page of Pentacles, ooh, okay, interesting. We've got Page of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. So what I'm sensing is you almost are like closing out one chapter of work, or you've kind of reached a place at work where you're trying something different, and you're kind of growing. I'm sensing like you've reached a point. Okay, hear me out. There are a few different messages coming through here. They always come through really fast, and I have to like tell myself like, okay, we'll get them all through. No rush. Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles tells me that you've got something that you've become really good at. Okay, So that's comforting to just know that like you've reached a point in your career and kind of your path where you're like, all right, I know what I'm doing. It almost gives me the sense that like you're a mentor to someone. But you also have this idea that is growing, but I don't think it's as lucrative as this situation. And so it's almost like going back to the beginning, but it's something that you feel more passionately about. And with the 8 of Cups over here, it's like you are gonna have to walk away from some success and recognition and something that you at one point thought was your dream, because you've kind of just leveled up is the sense that I'm getting. Let's see if we can get more details. And with Pentacles, it seems like this would be work. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So this seems like this would be work. It seems like you're kind of like just, you've leveled up and you're growing something new. There's so many growth metaphors here in these cards and images. And what I'm getting is that not everybody is going to understand this. Like this is going to cause you kind of an issue with a lot of instability and stress because you're not sure what to choose, or you're like, you know what, I have to go. Like we've gotten to the point where there's really no other path for me. Like I have to leave the thing that was once my dream. And you kind of have to come to grips with that. And I think that it almost feels like it's gotten to the point where I said mentor earlier. It feels like you're mentoring someone and you're like almost going through a situation where you remember when you were new in this situation and you remember when you were learning everything and like the excitement. And now it's just become kind of more mundane because it's not for you anymore. So whatever the new thing is, whatever feels like it's right, and even though it's going to cause you like, you're like, really, I'm going to leave this after all of, it's like the sunken cost fallacy where it's like, I'm going to leave this after everything. And what I'm getting here is I always get the 8 of Pentacles when it's something like really creative, something different that you're doing for work, and other people may not understand the path that you're choosing, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to explain, but it is going to be worth it. Look at all these pentacles that you've got. So the Queen of Pentacles tells me that all of your hard work has and is going to pay off. And you could stay, you could, but it's not going to give you the same fulfillment as if you completely followed your dreams, because you've gained so much insight, you've kind of become a different person. And this stage that you've been in for the past few years that was your dream, it kind of allowed you to become this new person that you needed to be in order to get to this place. So it's okay. It's okay to walk away. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, I've grown so much here. Is it okay to walk away from something like this? And yes, because you're going to have new growth, and there's things that you can't even comprehend coming for you with this new opportunity that's going to come for you in November. And I think some of you know what it is. Like you've had this idea in the back of your mind, or you have an offer of some kind, but I'm sensing some of you don't yet. And you're like, wait, is this resonating with me? We had a card like try to come out, but I'm going to make it really come out if it's meant for you. Yep. So you've got this like little crossroads, like you get to decide, choose who you are becoming. And it's got a 7 on it. So if 7 means anything to you, you did have the 7 of Pentacles over here, and you've got a 7 there. So I don't know if 7 has something to do with anything. Maybe on November 7th, keep an eye out. On the 17th, the 27th, just think about the dates with the 7. Unstick the stuck. So it feels like you've been a little bit stuck recently and feeling a little bit bored. Accept and receive. So again, I do think there's an offer coming through. Overthinking can spoil the magic, which is so funny. I feel like this is like the overthinking card. Like, and you also have like the new beginnings there as well with the 00. And prosperity, sisters, are happiness and joy. So what I'm getting here is like, this is like weighing you down because you're really just not sure what to do and you're feeling really stressed and really stuck. Okay. So when this offer comes, I think that like you can't do wrong either way. Like if you stay with what you currently have, it is not going to be the end of the world. But if you choose to move on or choose to pursue this creative thing that you have been doing, or what I'm sensing is almost like an offer is going to come through where you might make a little bit less money for a little bit, but it's going to be more money in the end. And it's like less stressful than your current job. Like what I'm getting right now is like people really rely on you for a lot, and you feel like you can't even take like a second off because people are constantly asking you questions, and you're just like, well, I'll just do it myself, kind of a vibe. So again, I feel like you're really in like a training role at this point for something that once was your dream job, and it's just stressing you out. Like the joy is no longer there. So again, just take a big deep breath. That's what I'm sensing right now, is like open up and actually just breathe, because I'm feeling like so claustrophobic with this energy. Do something that makes you happy. Like step out, stop working for a couple minutes, like go do something. Shut the computer, mute the phone, do not disturb, don't feel bad about it. Like take some non-work time to remember who you are and get your magic back and stop overthinking. And then you're going to be in the right mode to be able to receive whatever's coming at you. So that's what I'm sensing here, is you're like disillusioned with something that was once your dream, but something new is going to be coming up for you, and it's going to be like you're leveled up. You're going to be there for it. So group number 3, this is a very interesting reading. I'm sensing, let's see if there's anything that you need to know love-wise. I feel like this was more of like a work career type reading for sure. And if this did not resonate with you and you're like, what on earth is Summer talking about? You can definitely go watch one of the other piles. But this might resonate later. So you'll have to see in November kind of what comes up for you. But let's see if there's anything group number 3 needs to know about love in November. Okay, we've got you deserve love. So I'm almost sensing that if you do have a partner, it's almost like they've been a little bit neglected because of work. Like you've had to just like kind of put your relationship aside, and now you're trying to like get that spark back, get your relationship to be like where it was. So like just bring the friendship back and have some of those heart-to-heart conversations. You're going to be totally fine. I am sensing that a lot of people in this group might already be in a relationship and it kind of went by the wayside because of work. And you're worried that like you're not going to get that spark back, or like something has changed, but I think you do have a lot of chemistry with this person. And if you're single, it definitely shows me that work is not going to get in the way of you finding a relationship. I think that you kind of made work your relationship, but do not worry. Either way, you've got really good things coming for you, group number 3, and you can't make a wrong decision. So just know that. Trust your guts. You'll be just fine. So hopefully this resonated. Let me know in the comments. I respond to everyone, and please come back for more readings. Thanks so much, group number 3. Hope you have a great November. Bye. 4, we are losing daylight. This is becoming a little bit of like a nighttime vibe of this reading, and we'll see if that kind of like makes sense for you. I don't know, for some reason it seems like it would make sense for you. This would be kind of like a more shadowy reading. Give this a like or comment if you feel like that makes sense for you. I split the Light Seers Tarot into 4 quadrants. So your beginning of your reading is contained in this part of the deck. Let's see what you need to know for November, and then we'll get more decks out here to kind of clarify what you need to know. So what does group 4 need to know for the month of November? What messages do we have for group number 4? Okay. Oh, there we go. I was going to say I never force messages, so it takes a little bit sometimes. So we got the 3 of Cups, which is interesting. There's always like the friendship card, like really leaning on your friends and being able to like find comfort in them emotionally for stuff that's going on. That was super weird. Thought we had a card come up, but we did not. What else does group number 4 need to know? I'm almost sensing it's not in these cards. It might be in a different deck. Yeah. All right, so we got 3 of Cups. Let's go ahead and let's use the Modern Witch deck. Let's see. What does group 4 need to know for the month of November? There we go. That one came out a lot easier. Ooh, we've got the Page of Cups as well. which definitely shows me there's an emotional journey going on in the month of November for sure. And it's something that you've been thinking about for kind of a while. It's something that you have experienced before. So it's not like it's an emotional trauma that's coming up here based on these couple cards here. But 3 can also sometimes reference kind of just developing yourself emotionally. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which I'm just going to tell you is generally the Prince Charming card. One of my friends, when I was doing a quick read for her last night, she got this card because I don't know why, like, so different tarot readers, like we all have like the basic meanings of the cards, right? And then we get the meanings that come with it energetically. These cards are like all falling below the table. My goodness. But whenever I get the Knight of Pentacles, for me personally, that card always represents, like, I know that my spirit guides are telling me that yours need to hear that, like, are telling you that you need to hear the message that kind of like that love that you've been waiting for is on the way. Okay, so many cups, group number 4. This is so fascinating. Okay, let's move these around a little bit because the lighting's getting a little weird, but I'm gonna stop shuffling for a moment so we can talk about all of this, because we had like no information, then all of a sudden we have so much, because I feel like this was how your reading was meant to kind of come through. So there's a lot of emotions that you're working through. What I'm almost sensing is that I think you went through a really tough heartbreak, and I think you were able to really lean on your friends. And that's been something that you've kind of been going on for a while, and you've really been alone, or you've kind of felt alone, like you're kind of doing things, like you have support, but you really have needed to work through this on your own, or you possibly even still in the month of November are going to need to work through some different things. And what I can tell is that with the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups is that you got like a really balanced, harmonious love coming toward you. And it's one that makes me feel like I just want to be like, that is really sweet. And you're going to have a very deep emotional connection. I almost feel like you felt a little broken, like you couldn't have anything, like you have really deep friendships. And I think you've watched some of your friends have these deep relationships and also the heartbreaks as well. But you've really had to turn inward, and it makes me feel like you are like, I don't know how I would ever meet someone again, because I just had such a deep relationship with that person that broke my heart. And you just don't feel like there's a way that you're going to be able to find them, because like you don't go anywhere. It's like a physical and mental hermit situation. Like you kind of like have been keeping to yourself. And I feel like this is a very specific message. So for people who this resonates for, this is really going to resonate. And if this is already not resonating, feel free to go watch a different pile. But I feel like this is a very specific one. So this is very emotional, and I'm feeling like it's like a delicate situation. Like I want to give you a big hug, because I just want to tell you, like, you've come quite far from this whole situation, and even being open to emotions and being open to love again is a really big deal. But what I'm sensing is you're really going to be getting, like, you're going to have that contentment again, that like Prince Charming you've been working for is coming. But when I always get this card, the Knight of Pentacles, people always laugh when I tell them this, but he has also been having to work on himself. So that's why it's taken so long, is you guys both kind of had to retreat and go work and do different things. The Knight of Pentacles, I will be honest, can also be a guy that you're going to meet, or a partner. Sorry, this one's not trying to be binary, but just looking at the cards. Oh my gosh. So many just fell out. Okay, this one came out, shift into a new potential. A bunch just fell on the floor. These ones come out. We also have Creator Air, interesting. I'm almost sensing some Libra energy there, if anybody's a Libra. And Success in Transformation. So I feel like that Hermit vibe has kind of been necessary for you to transform. And your upcoming partner had to do the same thing. And you kind of had to shift the entire vibe into a new potential. I'm sensing that 13 could be significant for you, as well as 29. Like maybe something happened there at age 29, or maybe you're about to turn 29. I don't know. There could be something coming up. Maybe it's a date as well. But what's interesting is we're also getting follow through. So I'm getting the message here that this person that you were in a relationship that broke your heart really didn't follow through. They didn't deliver on the promises that they made. And I think in turn that made you kind of feel like you were the only one that you could count on other than your friends. So what I'm sensing here is I feel like you kind of are going to have to let this new energy in if you want to kind of have that connection, which you will. And it sounds like you have great chemistry with this person. Let's see what else we need to know, possibly for group number 4 for this little love reading. Let's see. For your cards do not want to come out, but then when they do, they are like going everywhere. The energy is strong, but it has such a specific message for you. There we go. There's a couple. All right. Ooh, forgiving and learning. So you are forgiving the past. You have to let go, and you're learning what to do in the future. And we also have retreat, which really goes with that Hermit card. So it is okay that you've kind of had to retreat. And I feel like you've almost, I think I said this before, but you felt like, how am I ever going to meet someone if I'm like only just doing my own thing all the time? I think you're going to meet this person, like it's going to be okay. Like you're either going to meet this person at work, or it's going to be a situation where you're working on yourself in a sense that you are fulfilling what you want to be doing, and you are following through for yourself in a way that you have not had a ton of other people do for you. So let's see. I'm thinking I didn't pull this other deck for any other group. And I was thinking, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it during this reading, but it feels right for you, group 4. So let me grab my Mystic Mondays. Is there anything else that group 4 needs to know for the month of November? And what is, oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. If you guys heard that, it just flew across the room. Okay, I knew this card was coming. I knew it was coming. Don't freak out. If you get the Death card, you get it a lot, like, you know, and you're like, I always get the Death card, but it is not a bad card. Stop. Don't leave. I know how you all feel about this. The Death card just means you're letting go. In this case, like, I know what it is. You're just letting go. Okay. I read the whole other message. That's the vibe I'm getting, is you have to let go of your past in order to be able to move forward. The 3 of Wands also just came out pretty quickly and pretty aggressively for you. And whenever I get the 3 of Wands in this deck, it's like stepping stones. Like you are going to have to make the jump. I don't know if you guys can see this because the lighting is getting so weird because we're losing sunlight. But it's really like this thing where you have to, it almost reminds me of like Mario or something. Like you have to jump from one to the next. And it's a big jump. But you can do it. And it really just shows me that like your passion for life is kind of coming back, and you are making these big leaps of growth in yourself, and you are letting go of the past. Like once you jump from one to the next, like you're not looking back. You're just looking forward to the future. And this is really developing you in a way that is going to manifest and bring all these good things into your life. Okay? Don't be freaked out by the Death card. I'm still feeling that. Don't be freaked out by this. You also have the 7 of Pentacles. That one's been coming out so much lately. You didn't. Did you already get? No, you didn't. But there's like, I was gonna say, we got the 7 of Pentacles in a different deck for a different group. So if you've been watching more than one and you happen to get that one a couple of times, that one's really interesting because it definitely has to do with like working on your spiritual growth and really retreating. So again, I think maybe you felt bad. Like you're like, maybe if I missed an opportunity by like being a little bit antisocial, and the answer is no. Like your opportunities are still coming for you, and you had to kind of like go through that and grow and get to where you need to be. Okay, this one also just came out for you. The 5 of Wands, which definitely shows me that you're feeling conflicted about certain things. But again, this is all about letting go, like being the person that you want to be so you can attract these things into your life. There might be some change, instability, some stress. Don't be stressing over this. Like, stop looking at it. I feel like you're just staring at the Death card. If that was you, give us a like, because I know you were. Don't focus on the bad, but you are going to have to let go. If you were focusing on the Death card, it means you're having a hard time letting go. Because, hello, excuse me, you have the Six of Wands. Do you see her? Do you see how she's just like letting go, and she's just like, yep, I'm doing whatever I want. So that's you. Even if you're retreating, you do you. You do whatever you want, and all this good stuff is going to come to you, including Prince Charming, or Princess Charming, who is working on themselves. This lighting is really interesting, actually. I just looked in the viewfinder, and it's also like these interesting lines of like the camera and the way that my cords are going. It almost looks like the Five of Wands. That's so interesting, the way that that's going. You got some interesting lighting, group number 4, because when I started this, the sun was quite bright, and it was golden hour, and now it is definitely not golden hour. And if you can hear that, that was an entire pile of cards that just decided to fall on the ground. Just keeping that in there, keeping it real. I guess group number 4. If you've made it this far, then please comment. Please comment what time you are watching this at. I'm just curious to see what time of day you are watching this at, and that'll be our little secret to know that you got to this place in the video. So, group number 4, I feel like we got to know each other quite a bit there. That one felt very personal. Feel free to go watch any of the other piles if you feel like you need more information, but I feel like if this resonates, it definitely resonated with you. So let me know. Please like and subscribe, and I hope the month of November goes really well for you. So thanks for letting me do this reading, and I'll see you back soon. Bye, group number 4.